out of this with something. So in our what next is where we will really be figuring out what do we want to do now. How is this group going to walk out of this room and move forward as a network? Are we going to walk out with committees, or are we going to walk out with campaigns that we can work on? So be thinking about that.
Maybe say the people near the door there could just leave a little space, because probably some people are going to be trying to come in and grab a seat. I did prepare a couple of quick photo boards, and if you haven't seen them, gathering, we had people from Evansville, and I'm sorry if I missed anyone or any cities, but roughly Fort Wayne and South Bend, Evansville, Lafayette, Indianapolis. That we could do together.
About that, Jim was alluding to that comment that Dr. King said at Riverside in New York and he said, if we don't start fighting these things, the big picture, American militarism, we're going to be struggling in war after war after war after war, and that's what we've done. We thought we had put this behind us in Vietnam, but then we're not. And then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then finally, George Bush in Iraq. And then George Bush the first. And he says, well, we put the ghost of Vietnam behind us. Well, it's up front and personal right now. And so here we go again. And I see some young folks around here, I'd hate to see them having to continue this struggle after we're dead and gone as older folks. That's all I got to say.
I could learn, do as much as I can so I can provide an organization that has like a triple bottom line. There's a product that empowers people to leave an impact on the planet. So that's why I'm here.
What I used at the opening session for 2002 when we actually formed the network, and it was from a Native American leader who I interviewed him and said, you got a great message here, but you only got 5 people in the room. What's the deal? And he says, my vision is not dependent on number. And that's something we've always got to remember when we're looking at, were we successful in the war in protesting? We were out in freezing snow and doing all this stuff. And yes, we were successful. Let's acknowledge it. It's horrible to admit that we were right, but we were. Diplomacy was not exercised. We did not explore other options. The costs in financial terms, in environmental terms, and in human terms has been incalculable, even if they put a dollar value on it. So in this instance, it doesn't help to be right. I mean, it's terrible. But let's just acknowledge that we were successful from that standpoint. And I think the people who attended, it was a very meaningful thing in their lives to be there at those events. They really did make us realize that, gosh, even here in Indiana, we've got people who realize that we can see through the lies that are being presented. And we know now we were lied to, okay? So let's not beat up on ourselves about that. And as far as what I think I need from a network, I'll tell you what I get from a network. And yes, it's the notion that I'm not alone, that there are others. But I think this will give you an example of what we can get from a network. We can get independent news. We can assert ourselves in media in a way that is non-commercial, that expresses our values and shows graphically that there is another way to live and another way to be in community, in Indiana, in these times. And I think that is really critically important. And this was done totally on a shoestring by, and we did it again. It was in fall of '04. It was the last time we did a Who's Your Peacemaker. So it's given a whole new definition to what the term periodical means. So let's not wait another 6 years to do another one. Of course, I want to pay for this one first. But and I say, this is something that the community provided all the information's in that. And when you go home and you read this, and when you pass this out at your meetings and stuff, think about the creative talent that is in this state, the heartfelt concern that is in this state. We are in the heartland. And I think we bring that to the table when we talk about social justice, economic justice, environmental justice, political justice. All of this is really important, and I think we have this to contribute. And this is what we bring to the table, and it's a big piece. Let's not underestimate that, please. You're all doing great work, and yes, there's more, but it's like Howard Zinn said in this. It's like we do little bits and pieces, and it all adds up. The little things add up, and just remember, all the little things we've been doing for all these years, they do add up. And they add up toward a more just society, a more peaceful society, a more economically fair society. Even if the mainstream media doesn't like to paint that picture, we know in our hearts that's where we're headed and that's where we're going to go. And we're not going to let the fact that we may only had one TV channel there covering us stop us
Right.
from doing the work we know is important.
Right. We must be the media.
Yes, become the media, that's right. Thank you.
A faster track to critical mass, so that the talent and dedication, the knowledge, the experiences in this room it can have the impact that we all wish them to.
And sorry, what was your name?
Oh, Anne.
My name's Lindsay. I work with CAC. I'm a phone canvasser. I feel a little unprepared
Can
for
you tell us
this.
about CAC?
I'm sorry. I work Citizens Action Coalition.
You're really with the FBI, aren't you?
I found out. So I was just planning on sitting listening to something, but
That's fine too.
yeah, no, this
Wanna
is
say
great.
something later?
I was just thinking, I mean, I talk to a lot of people on the phones, so if anything that I, from observations or conversations that I've had, what people are looking for, because there are a lot of frustrated people out there and they don't know what to do. They just think they feel really helpless. And I think the one thing I was really thinking about was information, because there is so much misinformation out there. Having those resources to go to where we know what we're getting is, factual or just not biased, independent media. So I don't know how that fits into what do you need from a statewide network, but having those places to go where people know that they can go here to read certain things or whatnot. So.
We need a group of people to come out and do direct action because a building flips a contract. So we need people to come out, and as we continue to reach out to more and more low-wage workers, we're going to need community support, even maybe send messaging to be like, we're targeting this company. Who knows workers that work for this company? So something to where we can send out messages like that. And also, if we really do want to continue to build power, then we should try to reach out to other groups. I mean, I don't know if you guys are, but like immigration groups, other women's groups, to kind of get them on our network so we can just continually build power and just do more outreach to other groups.
Coalition building.
Yeah.
We've got a coalition, labor, religious, and community. And that coalition, we have no problem getting the union people on that coalition, but we're having trouble getting the religious clergy behind them. And so it's almost got to where it's more of a union organization than a coalition. So I think what I'm saying, the woman at Terre Haute, I know a couple of people over there she could contact with the others. And there's the Central Labor Council. There's everybody here on the contact against Central Labor Council. Get union people.
I've contacted them and they don't come.
They don't come.